Hey, what is up, guys? This is Dhruv here, and today we are taking a look on how to make a most basic fuzzy logic system in Python. I hope you all are familiar with the theory of fuzzy logic because here we will just focus on the coding part. So we are taking a look at the tipper problem. The tipper problem usually has two inputs, let's say food quality and service quality, and they both have a range from 1 to 10. The output is the amount of tip you want to give, and it is basically represented in percentage. So we will have a range from 5% to 25%, 5% being the most poor amount of tip and 25% being the most generous amount of tip. We now have to define the membership functions. Today we have lots of membership functions available to us, but the most basic ones are triangle, left shoulder and right shoulder, so we will just use them. So the triangle membership function has three conditions. If x is between the left edge and the central edge, then that's your one condition. If the x is between central edge and right edge, that's your second condition, and they both follow this formula. And the other condition is x does not belong to the interval of left edge and right edge, which is just like a debugging condition. If the user inputs x which is outside of the interval of the triangle, then it will just assign 0 to mu. We will return that value, and we'll do the same for right shoulder and left shoulder. The thing about right shoulder is if your x is between central edge and right edge, then the value is 1, which is the maximum which can be assigned. So that is different from the triangle function. As we define the left shoulder, it is very similar to that right shoulder. Now I made a mistake here returning the value of MUR where it should have been MUL, because it is a left shoulder and I have used the value of the right shoulder, and which will be not defined, so do keep that in mind. Now we can start making the fuzzy sets. That is our stage 1. So the fuzzy tipper, that will be our function. One more thing, in Python it is usually a practice to capitalize the name of a class, not a function. So this won't give you a syntax error, but just to keep that in mind, that in Python generally capitalized name are used for a class, not a function. We will have two membership functions for food quality, rancid and delicious, and they will have these values defining their membership functions. You can choose different values here and see what changes does it make to your model to better understand the fuzzy logic. We have three membership functions for service quality: poor, good and excellent. And then we moved on to defining the limits for the membership functions of the output variable tip. The most important part of a fuzzy system is the rule base and inference. Here we will define the rule base, and the inference is used by using scaled output approach. So the rule base consists of three rules. Rule 1 is if food quality is rancid or if service is poor, then tip is cheap, and we will define that using the max function. So we will choose the maximum value from food rancid or service quality poor, so that will be the mu of tip chip function. Then the second rule is if service is good, then tip is average, which is just basically assigning the value of service quality good to the variable mu tip average. And last rule is, if food quality is delicious or service is excellent, then tip is generous. Now we come to the inference part. We have to find the area of the mu which we found in the rule base. So we'll just say 1/2 into the mu we got from the rule base, and we will multiply that with the right edge of particular triangle minus the left edge of that particular triangle, and we'll do that for each of the rules. So we will have 3 equations. They are basically half into base into height, so the area of a triangle. Moving along, now we have to sum those triangles because it is a scale approach, and the most basic way to find the let's say defuzzification of the value we got is through center of area approach, and center of area approach has the sum of all the triangles that we found in the denominator. So we'll just use that and define that, so it will be easier for us in the next stage. Now we are moving to the defuzzification stage, that is our last stage. So the amount of tip which we have to give is the centroid of all of those triangles that we got from rule base and inference part. So we'll just do the most basic centroid method equation, which is like summation of the mean of the triangle into the area of the triangle divided by the entire area of the triangle. So you will get the centroid part as the tip. Now I return the tip from the function and just input the values. So then we got, let's say your values are 10, 10, you get 25 as your tip amount. You change your inputs and you have different outputs. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to hit me up with any of your questions, and yeah, happy coding.